Welcome back to another video. This is a pretty familiar locomotive we have here, but in a less familiar setting. We have been here before. We're back in Poland, although this time we're not in Simrail, we're in MaSzyna, which is, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. It's a quote-unquote new train simulator. It's actually been out for a while, like I think close to like 25 years or something, but it just released on Steam. It's totally free, so I'm gonna give it a try since I got absolutely nothing to lose aside from storage space. It does take up a lot of storage. Now usually I like to go into games completely blind when I'm recording them. Although that was a mistake because I had no idea what I was doing. And the big thing with this train simulator, which the biggest drawback is, everything is keyboard controlled. There are also a couple other things too, like I don't know how I get that out here, so there seems to be a couple bugs. I don't know why the interior camera is so laggy, but the exterior camera is fine. So, also the translation to English, not everything is translated properly. But other than that, it has very good reviews, seems to be very realistic. So we're gonna give it a shot. And I thought I'd choose a familiar locomotive since this is a totally new train simulator. One thing I have been struggling with on my first playthrough is getting the pantograph to raise. First, we'll just wait for the locomotive to boot up, then we'll mess around with that. Alright. Yeah, it's still not raising for some reason. I tried every single keybind, but nothing seems to work. But I do have a little shortcut. Shift Q. That starts up the locomotive automatically. Now, as you can see, our pantograph, I guess both of our pantographs are raised. That's not supposed to happen. Oh well. We'll make do with 2 pantographs. So. And in order to exit out of that, just click Q again. Let's close our main circuit breaker. I do have a manual next to me, so I know exactly what I'm doing because I can and I will mess up a bunch of times. I think for the most part we're good. A lot of the controls are controlled by the... It started raining. That was weird. I tried to set it to be sunny, but okay, I guess we're doing a run in the rain. Yeah, a lot of these controls are controlled with number pad keys. So, I think we're just about good to go. Although we could turn on Shift Q again, just to make sure. Yeah, now it's just gonna drive for us, but I don't want that. Alright, we got a little bit of power going. So, number pad plus is I want just a little bit of throttle. Let's see, do we have sand? Shift S, that's our sander. Probably don't need too much sand. So throttle control on this locomotive seems to be a little different. But we are moving. Last time I tried this, we weren't, so. There we go. Let's see if I can remember how. Why are you being annoying? Yeah, I'm trying to expand the route map, but it's not working for some reason. Well, at least you're actually driving now. So, it's a very rudimentary train simulator. So, I think space, yep, that's the safety switch. So yeah, very rudimentary, you kind of have to figure things out yourself. I mean, there are guides and whatnot, and that's basically what we're gonna do. We might completely mess up this run, but who cares? We're just gonna have some fun doing this. Checking out this thing. Can't figure out if there's an external camera that isn't a walking camera. Yeah, I think the biggest thing is it would be nice if you could drag the controls and it wasn't just key bindings. Controller support, rail driver support, that would also be nice to see. We already have an issue. I don't know what I did wrong. Oh, it's shift and space bar. That's how you acknowledge it. Alright, take two. I think. Alright. A little bit of throttle. Do I have to wait for brakes to release at all? I forgot what the key bind is for the brakes. It's number pad something. Doing something. There we go. Got the brakes in running position. Safety system should be released. Tick 2. For reals time. Let's also see how do we get our cruise controls sped up a little bit. Now, the thing is, I would have liked to reset the key bindings, but the key binding control, none of that was in English, unfortunately. I do know how to use a horn, though. A and S. And Z does both of them.
Drawback.
What else we got? Trying to figure out the...
Drawback.
Alright, slash to increase. I think the speed limit was 140, if I read that correctly. Yeah, no holding my hands, like no heads up display, just gotta hope I'm doing it right. I'm definitely not gonna be doing it right. Yeah, there is a little route map up there where driving aid is, but for whatever reason, I can't get it to appear. But yeah, I thought I'd choose a freight run that would be fairly easy. I'm still very much looking at the, all the different key controls.
Drawback.
Unfortunately, I cannot figure out... I don't think there's an external camera besides just walking.
Drawback.
Unless... Yeah, there seems to be no way to do it, so... Oh well, we'll just drive it from the cab. Yeah. Lock controls, I should like ram down on a notepad or something. So, I think now that we're up to speed, I can talk a little bit about this game. So, it's an open source game developed, yeah, about 25 years ago. It's a quarter of a decade old, and honestly, it looks really good for its age. I mean, obviously, you know, it's not the best, like, the graphics don't compare to Train Sim World or whatever, but for its age, it looks great.
Drawback.
Now, the interesting about the name is, so it's MaSzyna, which translates to machine in Polish, but it's actually a pun, too, as Szyna also translates to rail. So technically, the name is Rail Machine. And like I said before, there's a ton of content in this game. It's like 80 gigabytes worth or something. And they got all sorts of locomotives here. Like I said, I wanted to pick something familiar. I was either gonna pick the Traxx or the Vectron, but they got all sorts of stuff. They got diesels, electric, CMUs. I think they even have like trams and trolley buses. They got all sorts of things. And like I said before, the awesome thing is that it's completely free. And from what I've heard, it's very realistic too. I'm not a train driver in real life, so I can't like confirm how realistic it is myself, but just like going off of online, people seem to say that it's very realistic. I mean, just the whole startup procedure, it's very intuitive. There's a lot to it, to the point where I give up and I just let the game do it for me. Because I couldn't get that damn pantograph to go up for some reason. I think we're still running with 2 pantographs up. Kind of hard to tell. Yep, we got 2 pantographs up, but whatever. And looks like we have, is that a red signal? I think that's just a yellow signal. Oh, and I already forgot the key binds. I was teleporting all over the place, so I'll just let the safety systems kick in and bring me to a stop. For once, they're doing their job properly. Alright. Let's see. Alright, got the throttle turned off. Let's see if we can get those brakes released. I think it's gonna bring us to a complete stop first. I guess we're going to siding anyways. I guess now that, you know, we're stopped on the main line and holding up traffic, now's a good time to try and get us a screenshot. The rain's a little annoying, but it is what it is. Alright. Let's do this again. I think the brakes haven't fully released. I'm saying all this as if I know what I'm doing. I do not know what I'm doing. Kind of. That's the independent brake. I think we're good to go now. Give it some juice. Our cruise control went away. Guess we're doing it the old-fashioned way now. Alright, I think I turned it back on. No, it's stuck at 140. Yeah, speed limit is 112. Although I am going a little fast over that junction, so... Probably keep it to 40. Let's see. Look out the window and we're leaving the main line. Alright, we've cleared the crossing. Full speed ahead. Very picky, try and get my camera in the right position. My original playthrough, like clicking on my mouse, I was able to get it back into position, but I can't figure that out anymore. But so far, I think I'm doing better than I expected. It's like a bit of a sharp corner, but I'm trusting those speed signs. Hope I didn't miss one. I guess that's the nice thing is, like, I don't think, I mean, I'm sure you can derail, but there's no, like, points or anything. It's, like I said before, it's very rudimentary. Just pick a train and drive it. There are a set of, like, scenarios. You can change the weather to stuff like that, but no, like, scoring or anything. It's just, you pick a train and drive. So, overall, I mean, I am impressed with how in-depth this game is. It's definitely old but gold. But there are a couple suggestions I would like to make. The first thing is definitely better translation, since not everything is... Most of the settings menus, they aren't translated fully, so that would be a big thing. I think definitely some more tutorials make it a little more beginner friendly. I think having controller support, rail driver support, or even just being able to click and drag the controls would definitely make it a lot easier instead of having to memorize a million different key bindings. But overall, I mean, if you just want a game where, you know, it's just, you hop in a train and just drive, it's a really good one. I mean, like I said, it takes up a lot of storage, but it is free, so as long as you got plenty of storage, you got nothing to lose. Playing this game does also make me want to revisit SimRail at one point, as I haven't played it in a while. Some of the controls in that game are pretty weird, but still a good one. Yeah, and yeah, I don't know why it's like I'm trying to click the driving aid window, but it just won't let me. So, definitely also some bug fixes too. What did I just do? I
drawback,
did something with the screen. That's cool. I figure out how to change the screen settings. I have no idea how long this run is supposed to be. Would be funny if I completely messed it up and I'm going the wrong way. Like I said, I'm just kind of not really concerned about that. I'm just kind of concerned about trying it for the first time and just driving.
drawback,
I'm surprised how much. I mean, it's definitely a learning curve at first, but I did pick up on it kind of quickly.
drawback, drawback, drawback,
Yeah, this map definitely isn't most scenic, but still, it's definitely got a lot of variety. It's kind of cool being on this industrial branch line. Still got some stations though, so it's got opportunities for passenger runs and whatnot. I guess it's nice and easy for my first time. I wonder if the speed limit has changed at all and I've just never noticed. I doubt it. It all seems like 120. I think it's also just really impressive to have a game receiving support for a quarter of a decade. It seems to have a really strong community behind it. To have a, like, it is open source, but still just to have a free game, still receiving updates for this long is very impressive. Slow down to 60. The tracks are noticeably becoming a lot more worn out. I don't think I quite trust the throttle for this. I'm gonna use the actual train brakes. If I can remember what the controls are. Oh, there's a car on the track. That's not good. What'll happen if I hit? I don't think anything happened. Flashing red. I don't know if that's means it's a red signal or not. Did it bring me to an emergency stop? Or are the brakes just taking forever to release? I'm not really sure. I think the brakes were just taking forever to release. I applied a little too much pressure. Alright, well, that's definitely a red signal up ahead. I think that's on my track.
SHP.
Yeah, that's for me.
Drawback.
And I think I stopped a little too late. Maybe not. Alright. Just a tiny bit of brake pressure. But overall, I can admire the detail. Like, these textures are all really high quality. And the cool thing, too, is the engine room is modeled as well. It's a really neat feature. I'm on the air cam. There we go. Not sure how long I'm gonna be here for. Just kind of wait and see. I wonder if maybe I have to, like, call in request access. because I know it does have a functional radio. Hopefully I'm on the right channel.
Dzień dobry, próba radia. Słychać bardzo dobrze. Próba radia. Słychać dobrze na kanale drugim.
You know what? Let's just do a quick experiment and see what happens if I do run the red signal. Just for fun. Yeah, we're gonna be a little naughty today. And just in the name of science, see what happens. So, clearly no penalties so far. Oh, wheel slipping a little bit. I forgot the throttle controls.
Drawback.
I think we pull into this siding. That might be the end of our journey.
Drawback.
Let's just safely come to a stop here. See what happens.
Drawback. Drawback.
Alright, I think... Not sure if there's an indicator when the scenario ends, but... Yeah, I'd say we did pretty good. For all the detail I can walk through when I'm walking mode, but just the detail too is really impressive. Yeah. For its age, just very impressive. So I think that's gonna wrap it up for this scenario, but I do want to show off the main menu real quick, and you can get a sense of what I mean. So this is our main menu here. And so you can see we have like different routes and whatnot, different scenarios. Overall, very rudimentary. So this is a run we did. It's nice is we can really take any run we want and change out the locomotive for whatever. So just for instance, we can change to a Vectron. We have a ton of different liveries too. And so we'll just do PKP cargo since we're in Poland. And usually you have to set up so like there's a driver. But, you know, you can configure this train whatever you want, and the scenario basically just determines how... like where you're going, what the route is. So yeah, there's like tons of different locomotives. You got some newer ones, some older ones. I really like these fun facts here too. So I think this is the same, so the same run as before, like the same scenario, but with different weather. But I do really like the detail on the Vectron. Like, I really like over here. Look at that, they got like a little miniature Vectron. That's so cute. Huh, I don't remember selecting that livery. I thought I did the PKP cargo. that's the same run as before. I would like to choose a different run. Maybe try a diesel. Okay, so we're on an electrified route now. And what's really interesting is while looking through diesel locomotives, I had no idea they had standard gauge M62s or the two M62s. So I thought, give that a shot. I mean, I was almost afraid at first, like it wouldn't let me run it. Like, can't even tell if like the wheels definitely look like they fit. And the lettering, the logos definitely aren't in, they're definitely not in Polish. Definitely some kind of Cyrillic, but very, very interesting. That's not even the right type of coupler. So, at least I don't think so. So, like some kind of adapter? Maybe it's an adapter of some sort, but, you know, let's see how things go. I did look it up. Yes, they did have yes, they did run M62s, two M62s in Poland, but yeah, like it's still got that SA3 type coupler instead, the hook coupler, but we're gonna give it a shot, see how it goes. I know Trains in the Z has this locomotive, so, but it's obviously the controls there are a lot more basic, so we'll just press Q, start it up for me, see how it goes. Yeah, I guess they did have a couple different, yeah, just looking at the Wikipedia page, they did have a couple different standard gauge variants, they even have in, like, Germany too, probably Eastern Germany at the time, and why did it just throw me into the rear cab? That was a little weird. I don't think that's right. Why is it? I don't think there's supposed to be a cab here. Let's see. Doesn't seem to have an engine room. What is going on? Alright, so it does have an engine room. I just don't know why all of a sudden it threw me into the other cab. Hang on a second. Why is it still driving for me? I thought I turned that off. And I'm still in the wrong cab. I'm facing the wrong way. I'm trying to get to the other side. So look, now I'm in the engine room. Now I'm in the cab that shouldn't exist. It should be a walkway to the other locomotive. Alright, I finally figured it out. Don't ask me how, because I don't quite know. Well, this game is a little wacky. Oh, I think that's the end of the line. That's why. Uh-oh. I did not realize that. That might be a bit of an issue. Let's just drive forward and see what happens. Brakes should be released. Yeah, I didn't really read the description of the scenario. I just kind of picked a random one, so... Yeah, the line ends right there, but... You know what? We're gonna play a fun game called See What Happens. Just drive and see. Oh yeah, fun fact, fun fact, I once turned an M62 into an off-road vehicle. It wasn't a 2 M62, it was a single unit M62. I don't think there was really a specific reason why. I think it was the Russian military, and they were just like, hey, let's take a locomotive and turn it into an off-road vehicle. And yeah, it was a single unit variant of this, and it didn't work very well. It was really hard to do since they had to fit it with all sorts of like steering axles and whatnot. They wanted them to turn independently of each other, and the whole thing kind of ended up being a failure, but it was a weird, cool experiment. I like weird things. But, oh, I guess you can hold shift to walk faster. That's helpful. So, I know how I control it from the outside now, but there's cars on that track, so there's no space to run around, and the scenery ends very abruptly. Should I just slam into that buffer and see what happens? If I even stop in time. I am curious to see, though. Do I have enough space to pull out of the yard? I don't even have enough space. Maybe picking a double unit was a bad idea. Like, how am I even... I guess I was supposed to decouple and run around first. Do I even have any space to go? This yard is overgrown like crazy. Yeah, I guess it keeps going that way, but you know what? I want to do a little experiment. Full throttle into the buffer. Let's see what happens. This thing's gonna blow up before you even have the chance to hit it. It's making a lot of smoke. And it's not moving at all. Alright. Turn off the throttle real quick. The brakes. I don't think the brakes are finished releasing, but I can't really tell which control is which. I can barely see the wording, but it looks like it's all in Polish anyway, so I don't know. I think they should be done. Oh yeah, here we go. What happens? Let's see how MaSzyna's crash physics are. MaSzyna's crash physics, I already forget the pronunciation. Oops. That's enough. The transcript's like, that's enough. Done with my tomfoolery. Well, there was one M62 that became an off-road vehicle. Now there are two. Anyways, the game's telling me that's enough, so I think that's enough. Anyways, thank you for watching this video. It was, you know, it started off normal, ended a little chaotic, but yeah, just having fun. I'm testing its capabilities, it's all for science, so overall, it's a pretty nice game. Definitely wish it was a little more beginner friendly, but hey, it's free. What you got to lose aside from storage space? So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.